Oh my god, guys, it's happening. It's finally happening. Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. On today's program, I am here to talk Resident Evil 3. Now, to kind of start things off, I am a huge fan of Resident Evil. I've been a huge fan of this franchise since the very beginning, going as far back as the first game for the OG PlayStation. And for the past 10 years, the franchise hasn't exactly been going down the right path. I know that the fandom has been very frustrated with some of the mid games, with particularly with 5 and 6. I personally did not mind 5 and 6 that much. I thought they were okay games, but by Resident Evil standards, they were really not that great. So Capcom listened to the fans, and in 2017, we got the release of Resident Evil 7, and Capcom, that being, brought the franchise back to its survival horror roots. Granted, with some much different gameplay than the previous games, which is fine by me. I really enjoyed Resident Evil 7. And then this past year, we saw the release of the much anticipated Resident Evil 2 remake. And many, including myself, have been wondering if they were going to release a remake of the second game, since the remake to the first game for the GameCube was well over about 15 years ago. So many of us were wondering, are they going to release a second game? And then sure enough, at the beginning of this year, we finally got our wishes. And let me tell you, the second game was absolutely superb. I'm probably going to get some eyebrows raised from this, but I think I enjoyed the remake of RE2 much more than I did the original game. Sure, the original game has the nostalgia factor to it, but let's face it, the whole tank controls and fixed camera angles it's very outdated, the gameplay. And I've brought that up in a previous video that I did on the Resident Evil 2 remake. So I guessing that since the remake to RE2 was very successful, Capcom thought, okay, now it seems like now's the right time to actually get the ball rolling on the Resident Evil 3 remake. And Bloody Disgusting apparently did an article where they've shown the leaked images of the box art. According to this news article, it says Resident Evil 3 Remake's box art has been discovered and features a redesigned Jill, Carlos, and Nemesis. Now, I'm not sure if this picture is from the actual game itself or if this is an image from Umbrella Chronicles, which was a rail first-person shooter, railway shooters, it's called, for the Nintendo Wii. It's been a long time since I've actually played that game, so for all I know, that could be that very image. But it says, we keep getting whispers and murmurs surrounding a Resident Evil 3 remake, and surely this latest bit of info makes it a reality that could be revealed officially quite soon. Tracking site GameStat adds new PlayStation Network editions as they come in, and box art variants have dropped in for Resident Evil 3, complete with a look at the redesigned Jill, Valentine, Carlos, Oliveira, or Oliveria. Is that how you say his name? I can never remember how you say his name. And of course, Nemesis. You can see them down below for yourself. Now, I don't know how exactly I feel about this particular design, but I mean, to be fair, this is, what do you call that? The first draft of art. Isn't that concept art or something? I don't know. If you know the exact terminology, leave a comment down below. But I'm thinking this is probably the first draft of the art, and it's not per se the final draft of what we're going to be seeing in the game. But I sincerely hope it's not, because I don't know how I feel about this design in particular. But hey, it's pretty badass that we're finally getting some box art on this. And, well, Jill and Carlos actually look pretty good. Okay, this looks a little better of Nemesis. I don't know, though. I don't know how I feel about his teeth, because his teeth kind of look strange. He looks a lot like, oh god, what's that one Cenobite's name in the first Hellraiser movie? He looks like Chatterbox in this particular art. Let's see. Yeah, this it's looking pretty good. It's quite the overhaul for the protagonists and the big old antagonist, with Nemesis sporting an alarming set of teeth and Jill wearing something a bit more practical than a tube top and short skirt. Carlos has some quite magnificent hair. I don't know, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of miss Jill's iconic tube top from the original Nemesis back on the PlayStation 1. But I mean, I suppose it's a neat outfit. Yeah, I guess I suppose it is a little more realistic. And I can only assume that the third game is going to be done on the RE engine, which I think is, oh, it's a fantastic engine that they've used dating back to Resident Evil 7. Because Resident Evil 7 and the RE2 remake, the graphics were just absolutely stunning with just like the effects of like the shine on the walls and the the ground, and then you've got the all the shadows and stuff. Oh, it's spectacular, and I can't wait to see exactly how they develop this game in the RE engine. See, it says with the Game Awards next week, it's looking more and more likely we'll see the official announcement then, and hopefully a release in 2020. Also discovered was the official name for Project Resistance, which is a unsurprisingly Resident Evil Resistance box art. For that is also out there and features 6 playable survivors and the very Wesker-esque baddie. Yeah, this was the most recent title that was dropped. I think it was some sort of major gaming convention in Tokyo. And I don't know, I don't really particularly, I don't know how I feel about this game. It's Project Resistance seems like a really generic title, and I've never played the 4v1 type of games. I've been hearing a lot of good things about Dead by Daylight. Don't Not sure yet if I going to take a stab at that game or not, but I've seen some of the gameplay for this Project Resistance. I suppose it looks okay, but I don't know if I'm necessarily going to play it. After Resident Evil 2 got a pretty damn good remake, fans were eager to see the next game in the series get a similar overhaul, and it looks like we won't have to wait much longer to see that dream come true. Best start asking for that Code Veronica remake next, right? And I must say, I think that RE3 is probably my favorite game of the earlier Resident Evil titles. I just have a lot of fond memories of coming home from school and popping in the Resident Evil Nemesis disc in the PlayStation 1 and just, spending a couple hours playing that particular game. I am really, really, really excited for this. If it's anything like what the RE2 remake is, the fans are going to be in for a spectacular game. And the rumor is that Capcom is supposedly going to be releasing the RE3 remake sometime in 2020, that being next year. And if that's the case, boy, I am really looking forward to next year. It's going to be an exciting time for gaming for me because I get to look forward to the Dying Light 2. Sorry. I get to look forward to Dying Light 2 and then the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't know why I almost got those two names mixed up, but I've got those two games, and then there's the possibility that the Resident Evil 3 remake might be released sometime next year. So I'm wondering, anyone that watches this, are you also a fan of the Resident Evil games? Are you looking forward to Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, the remake? Yeah, definitely leave me a comment. And until next time, dear friends, this is Cynical Lindsay, signing off.